crazy.
Welcome to the Shield Football Podcast. I'm your host, Fredo. Today in the building, we got that boy Jerron, we got that boy DC, and we got Steven in the back running things like always. Guys, divisional rounds is officially wrapped. A lot of surprising wins right here. Big news though, all the home teams won except for one.
Yeah.
That was surprising right there. DC, you got any were you shocked about any of these results?
No, I wasn't really shocked at all because most of them played out the way Vegas said they were going to play it. All those lines at the beginning, except Texas was 10-point underdog.
Yeah.
I think Green Bay was 7-point underdog.
Yeah.
And of course there was a 3-point difference between Buffalo and KC. Even though KC was on the road, it was still only a 3-point game, which tells me on a neutral field they would expect KC to still beat Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas had it right, man, on all of them for the most part. So that wasn't much surprise. How some of them went down, yeah. But as far as the outcome, I didn't have much of a surprise.
Hey, Jerron, so what are your thoughts on the division rounds, man?
Same thing. Very entertaining. There's a couple ones where it should have went the other way, and it's like it's crazy to see how a bounce here and there, one misplay here and there, one missed call could change everything. It's really crazy how that always seems to come up, especially in the divisional round. But I think we have worthy people going to the next round.
No doubt.
So.
No doubt.
It was entertaining to watch, though.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, let's jump into it and let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about the first game on Saturday right here, man. My Texans go to Baltimore and face the Ravens, man. Ravens take care of business at home. Final score 10-34, man. What a game right there. Let's talk about it. Let's go to some game leaders real quick, and let's start with the Texans side of the ball. Stroud, he threw for 33, completed 19 for 175 yards. Top rusher was Singletary for 9 carries, 22 yards. Top receiver was Nico Collins with 5 catches for 68 yards. Now to the Ravens side of the ball. Jackson, he threw for 22, completed 16, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But this is the one that impresses me the most. Lamar Jackson, top rusher. He ran the ball 11 times for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Overall, Lamar Jackson, have a day, my boy, even though I hate you at the same time. Now your top receiver was Flowers for 40 catches for 41 yards. Team stats. Total yardage, Texans 213, while the Ravens had 352. Both teams with 0 turnovers. And time possession, 22 minutes for the Texans and 36 minutes for the Ravens, man. Whew. So that being said, gentlemen, that's why the Ravens won this game right here, 34-10. Unfortunately, the Texans couldn't get the W. But DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
You can go ahead, Fredo. How you feeling today?
All right. Well, overall, man, like the way I'm feeling today is I'm proud of the Texans. They accomplished and overachieved this year. I'm excited what they did overall this season. As we know, a lot of people projected the Texans not even to win more than 6 games. But the fact is that they won 10 games, and I think they should have won at least 2 more. That's a big jump up, and that's a big step forward moving on. The Texans are headed to the right path, but we know that offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick is getting many interviews for every position team that's available at this moment. So, the question is, who are the Texans going to bring in as the offensive coordinator? Are they going to promote within, or are they going to hire somebody from outside the organization? that right there is to be determined. The fact is that the Texans haven't said anything about that. Makes me want to think that they might bring somebody from the outside. Who knows? But we know Slowix is taking interviews. He's taken already 2 that we know of yesterday. I'm pretty sure he has more lined up for some today. But overall, quarterback, he's the future.
Yep.
He's the truth. He's good. The Texans are going to be one of those teams that are going to be to deal with now. And this is just the first year. But let me stick to this game real quick. Penalties. Damn it, man. This team had 11 penalties for, let me see how many, for 70 yards. God, man, basically you just gave them right there. And I want to say out of these 3 penalties, 6 penalties came just from the offensive line. I know 2 of them were from our top left tackle with Tunsil. And he has been a problem doing this all season. It wasn't just this game. All season, man. It's like, especially towards the end, he's been doing a lot of false starts, man. And that's something that I have an issue with. One of the top left tackles that are getting paid handsomely in this league is doing little mistakes like this. Little mistakes like this cost us a game. Overall, we got beat by 3 touchdowns. I'm not putting the blame on that, but it's like you can't give teams like the Ravens any help. They don't need no help. You see what I'm saying? And then I had to go with the defense. For the life of me, I don't know why they didn't have nobody in the middle, guarding, and make sure Lamar Jackson don't run for 20 plus yards in every run he had, man. It's like that's how they killed us. It's like, but the one thing I noticed that the Texans were blitzing 75% time on this game, which they're known to not blitz whatsoever. The fact that they were blitzing is like, you should have stick to your guns. It was working, but man, it just like, this is the one time I wanted them to play zone and they were playing more man-to-man and blitzing. If you blitz this guy, man, he's going to find a hole eventually, man.
Yep.
And he did, and that's why this man got 100 yards. You know what I'm saying? So, gentlemen, like overall with this game right here, it didn't look pretty for the Texans. Stroud didn't have over 200 passing yards. The running game did not exist in this game for the Texans, unfortunately. The running game, Singletary, he only had for 22 yards. But for the Ravens overall, the running game was there. Passing game, yeah, it wasn't an issue, but the defense, they hold down C.J. Stroud. And I feel like the Ravens were just the better team that day, unfortunately, man. God, it hurt to me. I knew the Texans were going to lose this game, but I didn't want them to lose that bad. You know, it looked like they weren't in this game at all. I wish that they would have at least lose by a touchdown. I mean, at least competitive. The first half, excellent, bro. It looked like it was neck to neck. It looked just like the first game that they played in week 1.
Yep.
They were right there. But the second half, I don't know what the hell Lamar Jackson said to that locker room, or maybe Harbaugh. But man, they just turned it on to a different level, and they went lights out and came in the second half and scored 3 touchdowns. No problem. It could have been more.
Oh yeah,
it could have.
Oh yeah.
But they were just taking their time and enjoying that win. But yeah, man, congrats to the Ravens, man. DC, go ahead, man.
Yeah, like you say, the first half, man, it looked like it was going to be a really, really tight game. But the numbers that stood out to me, they had more rushing yards than Texans had total yards.
Yeah.
Red zone, 0 for 0 for the Texans. 4 for 5 for the Baltimore Ravens. Once again, if you can't get in the red zone, you can't score. Only score special teams touchdown.
Yep.
So they went in that locker room at halftime, and it's all about adjustments. The Texans went to halftime, and it's like they never came back out.
Yeah.
They didn't make it. They didn't have nothing to adjust to, evidently.
Yeah.
But when Baltimore went in that room, they had adjustments to make because they knew we are the superior team, and this game should be nothing like this. We are doing something wrong. So they made those adjustments, and they went back out there, and they put put down, and that was the story.
Yeah.
But for me, the offense still looks like last year's offense with Lamar.
Mm.
I'm thinking down the road, there's going to be a team that's going to be like, I want you to beat me with your arm. I'm going to somebody's going to make him throw the ball a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Because, when he does throw it, he don't look confident when he's throwing the ball. He don't. He seems like a little bit shaky before he release it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking down the road, somebody's going to force Lamar to throw the ball a lot more than what he did this game right here.
So let me ask you and Jorana a question right here. All right, because CJ also didn't have a day throwing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, could a weather play a factor, or maybe just the defense on both sides were just locking down their receivers, or because Lamar overall during the season has been throwing more than running.
Yeah.
It's just this game alone.
But he had several games like that where I keep saying it looks like last year. But then he'll come back the next week and he'll light it up as far as passing. But I don't know if the weather played a part in it, I'm afraid. It was cold, of course.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much wind they were actually getting. They said there's some pretty good, decent gusts, but I don't know if that played a big part in it. What do you think, Jay?
No, I don't. I like what he did passing wise, because the threat is always going to be his legs.
Yeah.
So you use your legs to get to your passing plays. To me, he was accurate. I like what I saw from him passing wise. They didn't overdo it. Is the thing. Like, he's not going to sit back and do 40 passes.
Yeah.
They're always going to have a wrinkle to it where let's move the pocket, let's play action, and then let's do something opposite of that. But I didn't have a problem with his passing, but he had a 121.8 passer rating, 16 of 22. That's fine. Even right now, his receiving core still isn't all that. Like, the best receiver on the field was Nico Collins.
Yeah.
So, if they did give him another weapon, Zay Flowers is still young. He was the top target.
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
And
First
playoff game.
Mark Andrews, they were hoping they can get him back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it would have looked, passing wise, it would look a lot different
Yeah.
if Mark Andrews played. Isaiah Likely stepping up. He had a beautiful touchdown grab, but I think they just need a couple more horses, and this is why Lamar's the MVP, because he is dragging this team ahead. Like, the talent is not great. I would say out of all the playoff teams, offensively, he's around where Green Bay talent wise is. San Francisco way more talent offensively. Detroit way more talent. Who else? So KC is down also, but yeah, I don't have a problem with how they play, and then they know they can lean on their defense.
Yeah. That's the MVP of the game,
right?
Defense.
So that's what I want to go to hold CJ Stroud to 175 yards is crazy. 72.2 passer rating, 2.7 yards per rush. They put a stranglehold on that offensive line. Like, they couldn't open any holes, and only one who really showed up was Nico. 13.6 average per catch. But yeah, that Mike McDonald, he's gonna be gone also.
Yeah.
Like, we talked about slow it, but Mike McDonald, I'm surprised I don't hear his name more, like, associated with LA. Like, look what he did with the Ravens defense. And the Ravens don't have a Chris Jones. They don't have a Michael Parsons. They're just a band of really solid physical players, and led by their linebackers and safeties, which is crazy. They didn't even have Marlon Humphrey that game.
Nope.
whenever I heard that, I was like, "Oh, Texans have a chance," and they just did it because of the scheme is crazy. So, but it was a good year for the Texans. They're gonna
It was
be
a great year, man.
They're gonna be great soon. They've got $70 million in cap space.
Yep.
So some stuff is gonna happen. Some stuff is gonna shake. They are the best team in the AFC South for the next 10 years. The way that they're
my thing just went up right now when you said that.
the way that they're stacked up, they're not in the Jacksonville situation.
No.
They already got the quarterback. The Titans are still wondering, and then the Colts, they're still trying to figure out if they can keep their quarterback healthy.
Yeah.
So good, really good year. But Baltimore that's them boys right there. So
yeah, Baltimore's gonna be the team in the AFC that is gonna hold that juggernaut for a while, man. Because Kansas City right now, man, they're not consistent. Yeah, I just feel Baltimore's a more developed team. Like you said, Jay, they don't got no monsters in that front seven, man. I mean, the fact that they're doing this like I want to say I'm not saying the best players, but just your average players, in the front seven at least.
They're still using Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, man. Jadeveon Clowney has been ever since he left the Texans. He's been with a different team every year. It was but maybe Clowney did find a home in Baltimore. Hopefully.
Oh yeah.
Hopefully. Hopefully
The money's right.
Yeah.
What he's looking for.
Yeah. But he is up there in age now, man. He's like what, 29?
He still got years to get some checks. Offhand, who's the best? Can you name 3 better coach teams than the Ravens?
No.
Right.
John Harbaugh, man, he's been doing it for years, but I can't think of.
I mean, like I think Shanahan.
Even that's close.
That's close.
Yeah.
That's
close.
That's close.
Shanahan, he's in the conversation because of his play calling ability.
Yeah.
But coach wise,
yeah. I mean, like also I put Reed up there.
yes, yeah.
Like I'm saying, like those are like tiers that they're still right there. Those have been teams that have gone up that level. But right now, this is the Ravens' first time with Lamar Jackson moving to an AFC championship game right here.
He didn't have to go against the Titans.
Yeah.
That's his nemesis right there. The Titans. Every time they played, I was like,
so but the other 2 coaches I just mentioned with Reed and Shanahan, those been to the Super Bowls.
Yeah,
with this current team they got on, like they've been there, and if the Ravens can go past the AFC Championship game, then you have to put Harbaugh as one of those coaches up there right now.
We've done it with Flacco.
Yeah, I already put him up.
No, I get that, but it was the defense. It was the defense that took him.
Well, that's going to be what take him this year.
Yeah.
It's going to be the defense.
Yeah, but come on, man. Lamar Jackson's a better quarterback than Flacco.
He won't be the best quarterback on the field next week.
Yeah, well, okay, I understand that, but I'm saying, it plays a factor. You don't have to put on a defense. You also got a chance with your offense as well.
Well, we just said Baltimore.
Yeah, okay.
He took Flacco.
Yeah, all right. Flacco had that one freakish year that out of nowhere, he made a deal with somebody to go off that, and for that 1 year. Ever since then, man, Flacco has not been consistent whatsoever, man. So he made a deal with somebody. I don't know who, but somebody.
He said the same thing about Eli Manning when he won his Super Bowl.
Yeah. Like, you know what? Like, Flacco looked good because of Jacoby Jones. That's why, man. Jacoby Jones saved that season.
And Quan Bowden.
Oh, yeah, that too. Yeah.
But another thing, back to the stats on this game, Fredo. The problem was when the false start, you starting out 1st and 15.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they already know the play call is going to be a pass. They're just going to pin their ears back and disguise this blitz, and they come in showing CJ stuff he hadn't seen before.
Yep.
So, but He got him a year on this belt, man. He'll be ready to go next year.
Rookie, man.
Yeah,
I'm
he got
saying
a year on
like,
his
hey,
belt. Yeah,
that's what I'm
outstanding
saying.
year.
It's like, like I knew going in this game, even I picked them, Jerron. Remember last week that I picked the Ravens to win this game, and still I knew going in is like, hey, man, as long as the Texans can keep this a close game, I'll be happy with that. But the fact is that they lost that much, it kind of worries me. But I'm glad it kind of happened because it lets them get ready for next season, because next season's schedule is going to be even harder. This season, their schedule was pretty easy. Next season, man, you got Kansas City, you got Baltimore, you got the Cowboys, you got Miami, you got the Lions. You go play the top seeds.
Yeah,
next year.
it could be ugly.
No, it's gonna be a hell, man. Yeah. If next year, I don't see them maybe even winning the division, because it's gonna be hard. That schedule is that schedule for them is gonna be hard. Remember,
look at for everybody else in the division.
I know, but that's what we thought coming in this year.
Yeah,
that's what we thought too.
Like the Rams, we didn't think they have a chance.
Exactly, man.
Either.
Man, everybody picked the Jags to win this division, and the Jags were frauds this year.
Well, they should have won a division. They just choked it in the end.
That's what I'm saying. Like on paper, yeah, right now we look good, but what is it going to say next year? Because next year's schedule for the Texans is going to be very hard. It's going to be a true testament of what kind of coaching and what kind of pickups they're going to do during the offseason and the draft.
Now, I'm glad you brought that up. Can you evaluate D'Amico's coaching during this game? How you felt? Actually, not. We'll do the whole playoffs last 2 weeks.
Okay. You know what?
Evaluate the pros and cons.
I'm going to give you the 3 weeks, because I'm going to consider that Colts game a playoff game, because you had to get in to win. All right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give you that. All right. Overall, his coaching has been solid. It hasn't been great, but it's been solid. Meaning to the fact is, like, I feel like sometimes I think he makes adjustments during the wrong times. Because I feel like, against the Cleveland game on the playoff, I think he should have went more man than zone. Okay. And on this game right here, I think he should have stayed more in zone than man. It's like, I feel like in those things right there, I think he should have just evaluate that play calling, at least on the defense side of the ball. And the offense, I know he doesn't have he doesn't have as much as control, but that the fact that he brought in Slowick in, like that right there was a great move. And he trusted Slowick, and, in the beginning of the season, it wasn't looking so good, man. Right. Especially the first 2 games against the Ravens and the Colts. It wasn't looking so good. But after that, man, he's been very solid. Overall, man, 1 out of 10, I give D'Amico a solid 8.4. As coaching wise.
Yeah, I'm with you, Fredo. He's a defensive guy, and he did a hell of a job. They overplayed their potential all year long. They played above their head. So, yeah, I would give him at least about a 9, 8.5 to 9. He did a hell of a job for what he had. If you look at that team day one, that's why people were picking him to be where they were at. Nobody could see the talent on the team. And he went out and made just a little small moves on defensive line, linebackers, player that he put out there, man, and it worked out for him. So, yeah.
Yeah. Jay?
So I would say he did like 7 out of 10. Now, let's bump it up to 8. Because down the stretch, he found his groove calling defenses. They were able to get pressure. They're able to get turnovers. He maximized the talent with Stingley. Felt like finally somebody actually put Stingley in a good place, especially against the Browns when Stingley was on Amari Cooper a lot of that game. I know they played a lot of zone, but they still somehow got matched up like 8 times, and he held him to like catch or 2 maybe. In this game, he just didn't have the horses. And the only knock I could give to him is we talked about the lack of spy. Like if you watch the Chiefs game, getting ready for Josh Allen, that should have been the game plan for the against the Ravens. But throughout the year he was great. He stubbed his toe in this game, but overall, like John McClain asked on Twitter if you can remember any time or clock management issues with D'Amico, and I don't remember any.
Mm-mm.
So hell, even right there as a rookie, then that's a leg up. So he had a good year. He should be in the coach of the year running. But I think he's gonna do well also.
Yeah. And that's what I said, man. Like 8.4, that's what I give him. It's very solid for a first time head coach. And like all I'm saying is, it's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the future of the Texans. It looks very promising, man. So you know,
like you say, you was a little bit shocked about the score, and how they lost. But you got to remember, the two teams that play in the NFC Championship next week, they did the same thing to them. Baltimore beat them just like that. But it looked a lot worse when they beat them for some reason, because they seemed like they started from the beginning to the end in that game. At least y'all were tied at Miami did the same, boat raced them too. So don't feel bad, because you still got two teams out of the four that they already done this to. So like I say, the future's bright for the Texans, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But then again, you know, like I'm excited who they're gonna bring as the OC.
Slow may come back. There's a chance Slow.
Yeah.
If you look at
if I'm him, I'd come back for one more
year. If you
I'd
look
do
at
what
the
Johnson did last year.
opportunities,
Yeah.
If you look, they're not all calling. Like I didn't see. Was LA Chargers on that list?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, that would be his best opportunity. You see the Panthers on that list. You see the Titans on that list. You see the Falcons.
He's done 2 interviews with the Falcons already, and that's the team I think right now would be the best option for him to go. Will be Atlanta.
You got to draft quarterback.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're gonna definitely have to do that.
There's too many big names in that
associated with them.
Yeah. It's tough. He's too young to take over, especially if they pick him over a Vrabel or a Belichick or a Harbaugh. Like, but
you see, I
think there's a possibility.
I think Harbaugh is gonna get the Chargers. Yeah, I think he's gonna go over there. But besides that, gentlemen, y'all got anything else from the Texans and Ravens?
Nope.
No? All right, man. Let's move on to the next game, man. We have the Packers at the 49ers. Final score 21-24. Packers trying to make a push, man, but the 49ers just hold their ground at home, man. And let's go to some game leaders real quick. Let's go to the Packers side of the ball. Love, he threw for 34, completed 21, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. Top rusher was Jones for 18 carries for 108 yards. And your top receiver was Dubs for 4 catches for 83 yards. Now to the 49ers side of the ball. Purdy, he threw for 39, completed 23, 252 yards, 1 touchdown. Top rusher was McCaffrey with 17 carries, 98 yards for 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. And your top receiver was Kittle for 4 catches, 81 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. Now for some team stats. Total yardage for the Packers, 330, while San Francisco had 356 turnovers, 2 for the Packers and 0 for San Francisco. Time possession, right down the middle, 30 minutes for the Packers and 29 minutes for the 49ers. So that being said, gentlemen, the Packers unfortunately had to pack their stuff and take it to the house, and San Francisco moves on to the NFC Championship game. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
Oh, boy, I had mixed emotions watching this game. I was up and down. But the first thing I need to say, take the damn points. I don't care. In that first quarter when it's 3-0 and you go for it on 4th down, hey, the team you playing this week, they got linebackers in the middle. You can't do that like you did against Dallas last week. Take the damn points. But other than that, man, LaFleur, man, he was in his bag there for a minute.
Yeah.
He really was, man. And we're really getting to see LaFleur, the offensive coordinator, now that Aaron Jones is not there.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, and Aaron Jones playing his best ball of the season too. But Rodgers is not there now. You seeing this is pretty much all LaFleur doing this now, man. So and it's looking good. He got young quarterback, young receivers on the come up. But they had him. They gave it to him. They take the damn points and they changed the way the game. That may not stop them from winning.
Yeah.
But you would have been in a position to win with a field goal at the end.
Yep.
It would have been tied versus them going up by 4 and you having to score a touchdown. You know they were going to buckle up at the end, the 49ers was. But, 49ers and Purdy, he looked like Mr. Irrelevant. But the thing about it, they're going to give him credit for that moment.
Yeah.
I want to tell you about these quarterbacks to get the thing. That one drive, that when that time comes, no matter what happened the first 3 quarters and 12 minutes, but when you get that opportunity, that one drive, and your team comes out victorious, that's when they start talking big about you.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, Green Bay should take the damn points, man.
Yep.
Take the points. I was all over the place with this, man.
They could have won the damn game.
Yeah, take the points, man. Always take the points.
Yeah. Jay?
Yeah, this is the game where the wrong team won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Green Bay dominated the game. Brock Purdy looked like Mr. Irrelevant, like you said. Jordan Love was great until he wasn't.
Yeah.
The first pick, threw it behind the tight end, bounced in the air. That was it.
Yeah.
Because if they get points there, whole different ball game. They let the 49ers off the hook.
They did.
They really did. Jordan Love didn't get sacked the whole game. You got Nick Bosa and Chase Young.
Yeah.
He didn't get touched. So the game plan was better. Like Matt LaFleur had a better game plan than Shanahan.
Yep. The student was about to beat the teacher.
The student was absolutely, and a couple drop picks, and the game is totally different. This should have been a Packers 10-point victory.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't. I don't want to say they choked. They couldn't convert when they needed They needed it most. This is where your young team comes into play, because that Darnell Savage pick, man, he would have still been running.
Yes.
And again, like you said, Purdy's gonna get. All I saw was Purdy game-winning drive, and I'm like,
that's it.
Christian McCaffrey himself.
Yeah.
I knew because Christian McCaffrey was on the field that they were gonna score that touchdown. And kudos to the Packers, young team. Beautiful play calls. Like, I didn't pay enough attention to Matt LaFleur's game plan. Yeah. Like the plays that they run are exquisite.
Yeah, they're nice, man.
They're beautiful. I seen it firsthand against the Cowboys, but he's like a Floyd Mayweather. Like, he's got counters on top. Like, he'll show you one thing, and then in the second half,
his offense has defense.
He'll play perfectly against what you think he's gonna run. Like, it's just. He's always using motion. I love that offense. I gotta pay some more attention to that, because he really impressed me this year, especially in the second half.
Yeah.
And the 49ers should be they should be in mass right now. They should be
zeros on the clock to now still in there.
Yeah, they should be at the Catholic Church praising them, because They were let off. They were let off the hook.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been in this game, and they were at home. So, but we all thought this was going to be the matchup, pretty much. With at least on their side, getting to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. So DC, I know you sent a group text. You said if there was any upsets. At that time, I didn't want to reply because I was watching the Texans game. And I was already on my feelings, but in my head I was like, I guess the Packers ruining the 49ers. The first 3 quarters, man, I thought the Packers were going to give an upset to the 49ers, man. But, man, you better be happy on 49ers that Jordan Love threw that interception, man, because that right there, you could say kind of set the tone, because you could tell the mood kind of. Like, because the whole game the 49ers were chasing them.
Right.
But now the Packers were trying to chase the 49ers. And to be like to be in that scenario, that's not a good, especially when you're on the road because you got the odds against you already. And then on top of that, the weather was raining like crazy in San Francisco and it was cold. And also San Francisco lost their main receiver with Debo.
Shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder. And there's a possibility he might not even play for the championship game because of that. So I don't know, man. It looks like San Francisco needs to do a lot of practicing coming up for this Lions coming into town. Lions are just hot right now, also, man. So I don't know. DC, you got any more?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Red zone, 2 for 5 for Green Bay. 5 times in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't convert.
49ers, 1 for 1 in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
And you lose that game, man. Green Bay, 1 penalty. 1 penalty for 5 yards. Everything points toward it. Like you said, it should have been a 10-point game, man.
So all right. So let me look at the penalties then
It
for
was 6 for 83 on 49ers.
damn.
Mm-hmm.
And
red zone once.
And Aaron Judge legitimately outplayed Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, no doubt.
How explosive he was, how dangerous he was, the big playability. Jordan Love, just man, you take that first interception away. If you're able to layer that ball over the line, get it to him in his face, we would have had a whole different game. But he's another up and coming, like dominant Packers. Like the Packers keep looking out with these quarterbacks. Not looking out.
Yeah.
Let me take that back because they actually do the work.
Yeah.
And they go out and pick first round quarterbacks. So Packers just got them another one and give him some more weapons, and he's gonna be the same. It's gonna be him and CJ for the next 10 years.
Yep.
So I got a question for y'all. All right. If you have to take a guess for next year's division for the NFC North, are the Packers taking that division?
I can't say that, Fredo.
No, not right
Well,
now.
I know who the Vikings going to have a quarterback.
Yeah.
But plus with Detroit in there, too.
Yeah.
But they definitely a division on the come up. They young.
Yeah.
They young and ready.
Mhm.
So that division went from being a joke to now to actually have 3 teams to actually compete in that, because also the Bears,
if they do the right thing,
if they do the right thing, not poop that pooch in this upcoming draft, it might look like this division is gonna have 4 contender and quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows?
Yeah, I see the Bears. They hired the offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
From Seattle.
Yeah.
So that's another team got mixed signals. Now I don't know what the hell they gonna do.
Yeah, man, I got a feeling that Chicago's gonna mess that up some way, somehow. You just gotta give it time, man.
They're gonna keep Fields. They're gonna do it. I already see it in the works.
Because they talked to Kingsbury, I figured, well, when I seen that, it's gonna be Caleb Williams, because he at USC with Caleb Williams right now, Kingsbury. But they went ahead and hired this guy. I guess it ain't gonna be Cliff Kingsbury.
Jay, you got any more in this game, bro?
Nah.
DC?
I'm good. Like I say, they gave it to him, man. They gave it to him. And if 49 play like this, next week they gonna lose by 10 then. I'm telling you, y'all mess around.
All right, man. Let's move on to the next game, man. We had the Buccaneers at the Lions right here. This right here was an entertaining game right here, man. Final score 23-31. Lions take care of business at home. Let's go to some game leaders and start off with the Buccaneers side of the ball. Mayfield, he threw for 41, completed 26, 349 yards, 3 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions. Top rusher was White, 9 carries for 55 yards. And your top receiver was Mike Evans, man, for 8 catches, 147 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy, man. Now to the Lions side of the ball. Goff, he threw for 43, completed 30, 287 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Top rusher was Gibbs, 9 carries for 74 yards and 1 touchdown. Have a day. And top receiver was St. Brown, 8 catches for 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Have a day, man. That being said, let's go to some team stats. Overall total yardage, 408 for the Buccaneers, while the Lions had 391. And turnovers, 2 for the Bucks and 0 for the Lions. Time of possession, 28 minutes for the Buccaneers and 32 for the Lions. So that being said, the Bucks gotta pack their bags and join the trip to Cancun, and Lions move on to their NFC Championship game. And how many years? Like what, 30, 40 years?
Been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
She, I know it's older than me, but that being said, Lions move on. Congratulations to the city of Detroit and to you fans. Y'all been waiting for this your whole life, basically. DC, what are your thoughts, man?
The Lions defense, Baker Mayfield 2 INTs, but hey, I'm not gonna beat up on old Baker today, man. But that last one was very costly. I knew it was gonna happen when they tipped it. There wasn't nobody but Lions players there.
Yeah.
But good game for Baker and Mike Evans, man, and 2 turnovers. That was the difference in the game. So going forward, I'm looking forward to what these Lions are gonna be looking like here in the near future, next week or so. But and Jared Goff, he didn't turn the ball. That's the one thing I know that he played a clean game.
Yep.
That's what makes all the world of a difference.
Yep.
Jameer Gibbs, it's going to be a problem.
Yep.
I was talking about I didn't think you should draft a running back like that, but this guy is different.
Yep.
He's showing it. This is what Bijan should have been doing if he had the OC like this. This guy looks good, man. The guy looks fast, man. He do what he wants to do out there, man. He's a monster on the field. So I'm looking forward to the Detroit Lions next few years because, like I say, the fans deserve it. They had a hell of a draft. All their draft picks are showing up.
Yep.
All their rookies are pretty much showing up.
Yep.
You know, the tight end probably he was the best tight end in the draft.
Yep.
Today, yeah. So, yeah, they did a hell of a job. That GM did a hell of a job, man.
He did, man. Jay?
We're running on a theme. They better enjoy while it lasts, because OC, he ain't gonna be there long. Like you see all these pretty designs, all this beautiful play action footwork, all these creative play calls. That's gone.
Yep.
That's gone after this. So they better take advantage now, because the marriage between Ben Johnson and Jared Goff has been a beautiful one.
Yeah.
Jared Goff, he had turnover worthy plays, like that first 3 points that they scored. That should have been an interception in the end zone. But you just see all the talent that Detroit has. Like you said, this is why they drafted Gibbs for this game. Like, and he made himself worthy of that pick just from 8.2 yard average on legitimate carries. Like, this was up the middle, breaking to the secondary, unable to be touched. I'm surprised that Amon-Ra only had 77 yards. It looked like he was everywhere.
Yeah, right.
I thought he had 170. I thought he had the Mike Evans game. But their offense is incredible. Ben Johnson, man, that he's a real great play caller. Defensively for the Lions going ahead, I would be very worried. I'd be worried about you letting Baker Mayfield make plays, like legitimate plays, and then Baker became Baker, which they just had to wait for that to happen.
Yeah.
You know, but Mike Evans going crazy. Big ups to him. It's gonna be tough for him to get in, but Hall of Fame career.
Oh yeah.
This dude's been quiet monster this whole time. But that's for the Bucks to win 9 games, 10 games if you include the playoff game against the Eagles. They had an outstanding year.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Another one of those teams. We thought they were going to be top pick almost.
I already put Caleb Williams in Tampa Bay at the beginning of the year. So for them to win 9 games plus a playoff game, they can't hang their heads. No. Like, nobody thought they were going to be here. I know for damn sure Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans didn't think this was going to happen.
If they did, they'll lie.
Yeah. But that was a real good game. But we'll see how Detroit fares on the road. because that was the question all year. What are you gonna do whenever you're in the elements and you're not as fast as in Detroit? So, congrats to them. Um, all of Detroit is out partying.
Yeah. Yeah, like they even had Eminem out there,
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Johnson. Um, I know they had some celebrities out there on the field as well, man. But yeah, man, like Detroit, man, you gotta enjoy this, man, because who knows if this offense could be consistent next year. Um, Now the question is, who do you bring up? Do you move up your quarterback coach should be your offensive coordinator? Hire somebody from the outside. Um, as of right now, like the Buccaneers, man, like Jay said, like they came in here and not a lot of people expect them to even make it that far. And just they had their way with the Eagles as well. And shit, man, like right here, they almost had a chance even to win this game right here, man. But shout out to Mike Evans as well, man. I could comfortably say that as for his last game as a Buccaneer, it was a hell of a game, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that catch he made for that touchdown.
That payday all over it.
Woo!
Payday all over it.
Wee.
He's gonna get money.
He saved old boy's butt on that one, man. He saved Mayfield's butt because that catch was incredible, man.
Where do you want to see him?
I wouldn't mind seeing him come back home to Houston. It would be nice, man. But
yeah, y'all should have the money for it.
yeah, no, we got the money for it, man. But I just don't know because now Nico Collins is up for a contract as well. So you got to pay him.
Are you gonna pay him?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. See, the thing about this,
Hey.
you said Nico Collins was good a while ago in the Baltimore game.
Yeah,
Would his numbers be the same with Tank Dell? You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
His numbers are probably going to be a little bit elevated with Tank being out of there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It's kind of risky. What am I going to give it? Is he really, am I going to get this every game next year with Tank coming back? Or what am I going to give him? Slippery slope for him. Nico.
Yeah, exactly.
So they drafted him as a talented guy. He was second round, I think.
Yeah, second round. Oh no, third round.
Third round?
Third round. Yeah, he was the first pick in the third round.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm gonna say to that is, that the defense know that if you leave this guy alone, he's gonna hurt you.
Absolutely.
So you got to pick your choose. Like you want to face Dell, which I think it'll be a hard time to cover his ass, or you want to cover Nico Collins.
Right.
But I know Robert Woods has to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Woods has done
space.
nothing for this organization.
Well, Nico has the advantage in that Tank Dell, Nico Collins thing because he's the prototype.
Right. Right.
Like he made it through the whole season for a reason. The dude's built like a statue, like a Greek god statue. So, and then he did show that he was the only one on the team, and if you constantly get him involved, he will produce.
Yeah.
So, I give him the only thing is him and Mike Evans play pretty much the same position.
Yeah.
So it's kind of redundant, because you're not gonna move him to the slot.
Nope.
You don't really put him on the move like you would a Tank Dell.
Yeah.
I could see Mike Evans coming there, but me, I'm calling up Kansas City if I'm Mike Evans.
There you go.
And
Yeah.
it is what it is. Let's talk Kelsey into coming back and let's go.
Make a run
and
for
that's
it.
another thing I got about Kelsey. I said it's gonna be a tape, but all right. To me, I think the Texans need speed in the other side of Nico Collins. You got speed in the middle with Tank, but you need another speedster down there, man.
Since we're here on that, you guys think Dalton Schultz earned another contract? He turned down the money in Dallas. Now look at him.
Texans gonna sign Schultz.
He gambled.
Yeah, Texans gonna sign him.
Well,
No.
Yeah. You don't think so?
I think they're gonna do it, but it'll be a mistake.
Right.
I think.
I mean, don't get me wrong, man. He had like 2 drop passes that on this past game, But
every game he's got two drop passes. So when you look at Schultz, we're back on the Texans again.
Yeah.
But if you look at Schultz, who's manufacturing his yardage? Is it him or is it Slowick's scheme?
I want to say it was more Slowick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because that Shanahan
yeah,
offense, it has to do more with the tight end than the receiver. But then again, like that tight end has to block as well. And that's one thing he's not that great at is blocking.
he's gotten better, but
Yeah.
all the highlights I've seen from him have been Slowick scheming him up.
Yeah.
So I think you can get somebody else for that. But they're most likely gonna give him a decent contract
Yeah.
and work with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to Detroit and Tampa Bay, they Tampa Bay needs to figure out where they're going with their. Are they bringing Baker back? Are they going to give him a decent size extension? So there's a lot of questions in Tampa Bay. I don't know how. I don't know if winning this year was great for their. I don't know if winning this game was great for their future, but they went ahead and showed out. So we'll see.
Because but by the time the Buccaneers draft, all the good quarterbacks are going to be gone by then. I say might as well pay them at least for 2 years.
If they're looking
at Baker,
yeah, Baker.
If they're looking for quarterbacks, Bo Nix, and then McCarthy, I think his name Michigan quarterback. That's their two names that they're going to be pulling from.
Yeah.
There's other ones also, but first round quarterbacks possibly for them.
Yeah.
Also, Detroit Lions in the NFC Championship. Michigan Wolverines just won the whole thing in college.
Yep.
The state of Michigan is on fire right now.
Yep. Shit, like that right there would be a good script. I'm telling you, man.
It's
that's
all
money.
rigged.
Yeah, it's all rigged. And then that's another thing I want to talk to y'all about, but we talk about that in the next segment. All right, guys. All right. So, y'all boys got anything between the Buccaneers and Lions?
Nope.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on to the last game right here, man. We have the Chiefs going to the Bills. Final score 27-24. Unfortunately, the Bills cannot wrap this one, man. The Bills cannot defeat this man called Mahomes. But let's talk about the game leaders. Let's start off with the Kansas City side of the ball. Mahomes, he threw for 23, completed 17, 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. Have a day, man. And your top rusher was Pacheco for 15 carries, 97 yards, and 1 touchdown. Have a day, my boy. Top receiver was Kelsey for 5 catches, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Now to the Buffalo side of the ball. Allen, he threw for 39, completed 26, 187 yards, and 1 touchdown. Your top rusher as well was Allen with 12 carries, 72 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Have a day, my boy. Now, top receiver was Kincaid with 5 catches for 45 yards. Now to some team stats. Total yardage, Kansas City, 361, while the Bills had 368 turnovers. 1 for Kansas City and 0 for the Bills. Time possession, 22 minutes for Kansas City and 37 minutes for the Bills. So that being said, gentlemen, this is the reason why the Bills had to pack their bags and call it a season. And the Kansas City moves on to the 6th straight AFC Championship game. DC, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
I ain't gonna lie, I picked Buffalo to win this game.
Me too.
I felt like they had the momentum, and all of a sudden, Mahomes showed up to town, and they just can't play. Man, and that fake punt, really?
Yep.
Do you know who you playing? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Against Andy Reid and Mahomes, give them a short field. That's the last thing you want to do. That's why his ass might be looking for a job soon too. He was on the hot seat before they went on that run. They may just go ahead and open up and let him go. But man, they just can't get him for some reason. They cannot do him. Josh Allen,
away,
Josh
don't
Allen,
matter.
Man, and they just got Josh Allen's number, man. And for some reason, he almost gave it to him. I was waiting on the turnover to come.
Yeah.
He did it about 5 minutes ago. He almost did it,
Mm-hmm.
but it just happened so they recovered it. Yeah, but my takeaway from this is what's going on with Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
What is going on with? There was a couple of times it's something internal going on because he was open a couple of times on the short route, but Josh chose to go downfield,
down
man.
the field for a touchdown.
And I'm surprised Diggs has been quiet about this all this time. And it's been for like the last 10 games. He ain't just been putting up Diggs' number. Why in the hell I want to throw the ball to Secure? I have the best wide receiver in the whole damn stadium.
You paying
and
him.
Yes. Either way, ain't nobody in the stands, ain't nobody else in the stadium as good as Diggs. You force it to him if you have to because he's the best receiver on the field. And you want to go and throw it Shakur and all these other guys, man. I don't get it, man. Something's not right or something must be going on internal. I'm sure we'll hear about it here in the next couple of weeks, though. But it just don't seem right. Diggs too good of a player for him not to be the main thing in this game because I still remember the picture of the first loss in Kansas City when he just stood out there on the field and watched them celebrate.
Yeah.
Confetti fall. I remember that. And him not to be a part of this no more than that. They say he got 8 targets, but when they say targets, that don't really mean much to me because I don't know how catchable the ball really was. It was just he was in the vicinity. But two catches? Really? Stephon Diggs?
Yep.
Something not right, man. And whatever comes to the Buffalo Bill, they deserve it. I'm done with them, man.
But we know the frustration that you've been having with them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Even though the season has started, you always question them. But the fact of the matter is, DC, you know, these last 6 games that they have managed, because at one point they were outside looking in from the playoff picture, and they made their way in and they won the division, man. Jay, what are your thoughts on this game, man?
The Buffalo Bills have had every chance. They're going to blame the kicker.
Wide right.
But Josh Allen had a touchdown. He underthrew it, inaccurate. They were lucky to be in that situation because he did fumble. He fumbled the game away. It just so happens his tight end got a hand on it, and somehow the bounce landed back in their hands. So they had every chance. Josh Allen is the most entertaining quarterback to watch in the league. It feels like he should never lose. I don't see how you lose with all that talent. It's just he can run it, he can sling it. His team kind of let him down. Diggs, we just talked about him being unhappy, but he had a deep bomb that went through his hands, misjudged it, and then I think Sherfield dropped two big throws, but there's nobody to blame for the Buffalo Bills but themselves. They were gifted touchback with McCole Hardman. Like the game should have been out of reach anyway. They went for so with the 4th down fake punt, that had to have been a check. Like, hey, if we get this look, we're gonna run it no matter what. Because I can't see them coming out of the huddle with that play call. It was terrible. So they had to see, hey, we got numbers over here. Throughout the whole year, they were probably like, hey, if we get this look, we're gonna check to this no matter what. So the special teams coach had to have that because I just don't see them doing that instead of having Josh Allen do anything. Run the ball, throw underneath. Hell, if you are going to get a receiver, Sheffield was doing his thing, but for some reason they don't love Diggs out there. I think they just try to keep him in his place. They don't want him getting too much power on the field. You saw what he did in Minnesota, but yeah, this is a Buffalo Bills problem. The Chiefs played well enough. They didn't look incredible. I think the last quarter, the score didn't change. So Yeah, but Buffalo's got some questions going into the offseason. How are they going to improve their team?
Right.
Yeah.
Diggs isn't the answer. It looks like they need to add another receiver. Josh Allen's cap hits are going up to $52 million a year. So I don't know if the window's closed. What do y'all think?
Oh, it's getting there. The fact is, like, you don't have chemistry with your number one wide receiver. It's a big problem. Like DC has mentioned, like ever since after week 6, his numbers have very declined. Man, he has not had a game over 100 yards ever since then.
Yeah.
His targets are going down. He was only targeted. What was it? He was only targeted 8 times. Out of those 8 times, he only catch the ball three times for 21 yards. What's going on?
Yeah,
that right there, that's something going on, because you're targeting more a third string receiver 9 times for 44 yards. I mean, something's going on. Like DC said, me personally, I think the Bills are just cursed on that field. Hopefully they get this new stadium. Maybe it's not possessed or something, or something's going on with that land itself, man. But I don't know, man.
This was one of their best chances, Fredo.
It was.
This is the best chance.
Yeah, because you don't forget you're going to have the Texans on to come up. Joe Burrow's coming back next year. This was probably like the best chance they had. And don't be surprised. Either McDermott's going to be gone or Diggs going to be gone. We can't sit up here and talk about firing McCarthy from Dallas.
Yeah.
And this guy had a better quarterback and a stud receiver on his team, and this is all he's gotten to.
Yep.
So you're going to talk about one, you need to talk about the other. Same thing. If that had been Dak's game script,
man.
Oh, yeah. The headlines today, do you know what they would be saying?
Yeah.
Man, it'd be ridiculous,
man. They're lucky that people love Buffalo.
Yeah.
They're lucky.
Yeah. If that had been Dak's stat line, man, see, I told y'all he can't. No, man, that's...
Every year. He never moves up. He can't beat Mahomes.
So we're going to talk about McCarthy getting fired. Don't be surprised the swirling around McDermott today. So next couple of days, these exit interviews start to come along.
Yep. I feel Diggs is going to be gone by the season. He's going to be traded, man. Yeah. That's what I think. I think there's some stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't even know about. Because only, like I said, you only had 8 targets for 3 catches. Yeah, that's a problem.
You good, Jay?
Well, what I will say is Kansas City defensive scheme was that it was a great way of controlling their offense. But yeah, it's not really much more you can say about Josh Allen. He's going to have to continually be Superman for them to get to where they want to go. They're going to have to make some drastic improvements, especially defensively. I know they're banged up, but get them some more weapons. Von Miller's contract is huge. Yep. He really didn't do much. He had some pressures, but that's pretty much it. For KC, can they do it again? Can they go into Baltimore and can they not get pushed around by this Baltimore offense and defense? We know they got the coaching staff to be able to come up with a game plan, but if they make it to the Super Bowl this year, this is going to be probably their most impressive.
Oh, no doubt.
Road there, because MVS finally came through. You know what I'm saying? Rasheed Rice is up there.
Yep.
He's your best receiver. He's a rookie, and he's been limping around the whole playoffs. And Travis Kelce, rumor has it this might be his last run.
Yeah.
So, and he's up there in age. He ain't looking the same. So this would be the most impressive route to the championship if they can get there.
And go ahead, Fredo.
So real quick on that, on Travis Kelce. The way I see it, man, like I think Travis Kelce has too much stuff going on outside of football. The whole thing with Taylor Swift and then his podcast with his brother, and the plus the endorsement deals that he has. He's making more money right now. He's more successful outside of football. So I thinking that this is Kelsey's last year with the Chiefs, man. He's taking the beating. And we can see the decline on the field that he's taken compared to three years ago, especially last season. Last year he was a monster, man, and he's not even half that this year. So and then on top of that, he's been out for a lot of games this year, and he's been getting banged up, man. So I say this is his last year with Kansas City, man. DC, go ahead, man.
The thing about this game for the Chiefs, they're gonna get similar looks next week. The Josh Allen versus the Lamar Jackson for the running quarterback. So they may be able to use a little bit of stuff. Maybe definitely they're gonna have to have a spy for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
If I told you one team would have 27 first downs to 21 first downs, total plays 78 to 47 total plays, 368 yards to 361. Time of possession 37 minutes to 22. You would think that was
that was a team that won.
A lopsided victory for the home team.
But that doesn't matter if you don't put up points.
The Buffalo Bills won everything but the score.
Yeah.
And the big plays, like I think they were saying they didn't have a play over 20 yards the whole game. So that's not a recipe for victory. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
Keep it going.
Keep that train going, man. These fools right here get hot when they have to get hot, man.
You're going to have to say Andy Reid's the top 5
Absolutely.
top 5 coach of all time.
Absolutely.
Through every era, he's had a dominant franchise. Yep. He didn't win it in Philadelphia, but they were just as good.
Yep.
So, shout out to Andy Reid and his nuggies.
All right, yep. Explain me with those nuggies this time.
Nuggies.
All right, gentlemen, y'all boys have anything else from the division rounds of the NFL week? All right, man, let's wrap this thing up. Thank you for tuning in to the Shield Football Podcast. Like always, please subscribe to our channel, which that help us move on and get better and push out more content for y'all. Much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and share this, like this, subscribe it. And if you're returning, viewer, thank you for tuning in like you do every week. Thank you for the love and support that you have given us throughout this season. But until next time, gentlemen, we see y'all next week. Later.
Peace out.